This program has been brought to you by Cell One.
Welcome to 2015's 10 Most Fascinating People of Bermuda. I'm Lisa Pickering. Everyone has a story, a little something that makes them unique, especially right here in Bermuda. But what does it mean to be fascinating? We've put together a list of 10 Bermudians that captured the headlines in 2015. Whether they've been the subject of controversy or of great praise, there isn't an individual on this list that hasn't come up in conversation around the dinner table, at the office, or at social gatherings. Each individual featured on this list share one thing in common. They all have shown passion, determination, and perseverance in the face of setbacks. The list is in no particular order, but the final subject revealed is this year's most fascinating person of Bermuda. Let's get started. Our next fascinating person of 2015 made headlines when he led the Bermuda Public Services Union march to Cabinet grounds over the controversial issue of furlough days and for the subsequent legal action by the Minister of Finance. 33-year-old BPSU President Jason Hayward may describe himself as average and may have been little known before becoming the union's first full-time elected president. However, he made his voice heard in 2015. We wanted to find out more about this accomplished white-collar union leader.
No real background in the union in terms of family history. What I would say is, early in my work career, I was elected as shop steward in my department. And naturally, if I take on a role, I take it on to the best of my ability. So I'm like the super shop steward now. And I ensure that I learn all the policies, procedures, and I like to challenge management. So I had no problem representing persons. But that runs back from even, I would say, high school, where there were persons who used to pick on people which we consider bullies. And I used to try to straighten up the bullies for picking on people. And I was a prefect in school for 2 weeks, mind you. But when I was a prefect, I was a super prefect. And I tried to break up every fight, and I tried to send everybody to class as the whole monitor or whatever it may be. And that's, I think, just in me, standing up and helping people. And I think the union provided a platform for me to do that. And I think as a result, I emerged in that because I just enjoy standing up and protecting people and fighting for people's rights.
You were coined the next generation or generation next of the labor movement here in Bermuda. Do you agree or disagree with that statement?
I don't know about generation next. I prefer generation now. I think every time in history there is persons and they have their place in the time. They have persons that have came before me, and I'm just carrying on the baton from those that came before me.
What are your defining moments, or have you had any defining moments that the seniors have backed you up on?
A huge dispute we had with the government, a furlough day dispute. At that point in time, persons were wondering what would be the outcome, and we came through. There was no furlough days on the table, and after that, you find that you get respect from your membership because they say you're willing to do what it takes to get the results that are necessary.
Now, that was a 3-day action against government.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from that experience? What did you take away?
Communication. I think once communication broke down, the dispute ran on longer. Had communication with the government not broke down early in the first day, then it would never have been a 3-day dispute. And I believe that issues are sorted out at the table. They're not sorted out through any industrial disputes. As a result, I prefer to sit around the table and come to a resolve rather than having to flex muscle in order to force persons around the table to get a resolve.
Obviously, there's been legal action due to statements that you said on CBM about the finance minister and the airport contract. Originally, when the suit was filed, it was said it wasn't to threaten your democratic freedom, but to hold you accountable for the words that you spoke. Do you still stand behind those words?
I think sometimes I say, if I could do it again, would I have used different words? And I think I've came to the conclusion over and over that no, I wouldn't have used different words. The words I used wasn't to bring down the Minister of Finance. It wasn't to bring shame on the government. It was to talk about issues surrounding the airport project. And that was the intent. If persons got personally offended by it, then so be it. But My words were never directed directly at the Minister of Finance, and I find it harsh, because I read the World Gazette and I see words directly attributed to me, negative words and all sorts of words categorizing me. And I never once in my mind say, I'm going to go out and sue that person. But what they said, this comes with the territory, so I'll take it in stride.
How do you mend the bridge between you and Minister Richards?
I don't think you have to mend a bridge in a professional relationship. Person say, what if you apologize? Or what if you drop the suit? It's this type of things.
Yeah, it's fair.
But I believe that when required, I'm very professional, I'm very tolerant, and I can work alongside anybody for the betterment of the country. I wouldn't allow any personal dispute to get between what's in the best interest of this country.
Now, you touched on the fact that you have been called malicious. Radical is something else that has often been associated with your name. What do you say to individuals that say that you have a radical approach?
Radical, I mean, as being a labor leader, radical is something that you take in stride. It's not too negative, but radical when we need to be. But the majority of the time, they don't see me in meetings day to day, working at a table with employers and employees and negotiating and solving grievances and putting solutions on the tables to whatever problems may arise. That's the majority of our work. And I believe if you speak to a number of employers that I have relationships with or HR teams, they will say that I'm very competent in what I do. I'm very professional, and they don't see that type of emotion that you see portrayed in the media when there's a large dispute at the table.
And how do you handle those criticisms? Because I'm sure you get criticized quite a bit in the media, much like any public figure.
A huge support base. Persons will always encourage me. If I go grocery shopping, there are persons in the aisle trying to stop me to have a conversation. When you look at your membership and have a membership meeting, when you look at those eyes glazing back at you, you know that those persons have hope and belief in you. So I know when I stop doing what I do, I'm failing a lot of people.
Now, it has been said the recession's coming to an end. Are you optimistic for 2016 in terms of employment rates?
I think the economy has stabilized. I haven't seen that translate into job growth. That's still alarming. The problem that we had with our jobs is, again, the mismatch. And I haven't seen much done to turn that corner in reference to the mismatch. I would have thought that the national training plan would have been a tool to assist, but that hasn't came to fruition. But what we need to do is we need to have concentrated education programs to educate persons in job areas that are required in the economy.
You're the first elected full-time president of the BPSU.
Correct.
Did you ever have aspirations to head up the union?
I did. When you go into Union Hall, you see pictures of all the past presidents, and attending union meetings, I would look at those pictures and say, I want my picture up on the wall. It was a goal of mine to become the president, and probably one of my most fulfilling moments.
You come from a long line of presidents, obviously, with legacies behind them. Mm-hmm. What would you want to see your legacy be like?
All I want to see is if there's a picture on the wall, under that picture should be fighter or warrior or something like that. That's what I am.
Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you check out Bernews every weekday up until January 28th for more conversation with Bermuda's 10 most fascinating people of 2015. And please, if you know of any individual who you think deserves to be on this year's list, let us know by emailing us at bermiebios@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
This program has been brought to you by Cell One.
With Cell One, you simply get more. More 4G speed and reliability across the island. More warranty coverage from the only carrier authorized to resell Apple iPhones in Bermuda. More first-class service with our 24/7 customer care, whether you're in-store, on the phone, or online. More services, mobile phones, long distance, and home internet, all with one company. Get more with one. Cell One.